Hello and welcome to the show. We are here today on Forza Horizon 5 with, I say, a little bit of a challenge sort of thing. You see, it's not so uncommon for car manufacturers to share engines between models and sometimes even send them off or sell them off to other brands. There are some very interesting shared engines, shall we say. Now, we're not talking about engine swaps in this, but we are going racing with some vehicles that are quite different and share a basic engine. There can be tweaks. We've got the Ford SVT Lightning, the pickup truck that has recently come to the game. Now, the basics of this engine, or the basics of the engine in the Lightning, is the same engine that you find in the Ford GT. So, we are going to go racing with these. Now, of course, race the Lightning stock against the Ford GT stock, and funnily enough, the GT is going to win. But the Lightning's been modified in a way that should make it fairly competitive. I've tried to balance the vehicles as best as I can. Yes, the Lightning does come out a fair bit higher PI, but it is a big, heavy truck. So yeah, we will see how this one goes. I mean, the pickups have got the top 3 places on the grid, which is nice. Actually, I'm surprised. I was expecting the GT to be faster off of the line, to be honest. Now, it's going to have a much higher top speed than the pickups if it can get going with it, if it can get using it, and it's probably going to be better in the corners than we are if you can get it stopped. Blakey does end up overshooting that one a little bit. Oh, and now the trucks are fighting each other. We're going to go side by side. Make a very strange noise to these trucks. We are going to be in a little bit of bother. We're going to get squeezed into the outside wall through here. Can we get this change of direction? If we get this change of direction right, we might jump 3 vehicles, and we do. Try to stick it around the outside here. There's some sliding further back, unfortunately for me. Oh god, yeah, we got a little bit out of shape, and the 3 places that we made up were then immediately lost on all of that. Okay, we have got the pickup trucks have got to the front, and they might not have. The GTs are, well, the GTs are fighting amongst themselves. We're fighting amongst ourselves. Are they going to come howling towards us down the straight? I think they probably are. Around this circuit, they might not quite. We're going to bump the back of Rusky here. Are we going to be able to find a pass into turn 1? Maybe, if we can pull it up in time. We tried, it just didn't quite work. We're almost side by side with Rusky again. Can't make it stick there, unfortunately. Will we change direction right through here? Got a little bit boxed in by a sliding Rusky. We will duck underneath there. That's no problem at all. We will get that pass completed, and then lose the back end through the next corner, although we end up sliding straight in front of Rusky, and that cost them all of the speed as well. So Danger Man leads. We're going to have to be a little bit careful about Glisco with that GT, going to be potentially in range down this start-finish straight. Might be close enough, might not be close enough to me. Could well give Rusky some trouble though, as we blast through turn 1. Yeah, okay, that could be a factor by the end of the race. Now, I'm hoping the pack ahead will fight each other a fair bit here. And if they do, they slow each other down, could be helpful. It looks like, I think Amy's making a little bit of a roadblock, blocking the rest of the GTs out of this one. We will try and get this change of direction. Right, no, we won't. We found the building. And so did Amy. God's sake. Oh, damn it, that building. Oh, there's the other Fords. Yeah, it's just the back end. Oh, I say it was just chasing it across the road a little bit. Could not quite make it work for us. And yeah, sure enough, got in trouble. Right, we are going to be potentially vulnerable down at turn 1. There's not much I can really do. Blakey's going to go past. We can send Blakey the long way round. Try and give some space if at all possible. Yeah, Blakey's going to have a look to the outside. Can we... Yeah, the truck stopped. We do just... It's going to be difficult to get it, make it work on the exit. We just hold on through there. Oh, I've turned in a little bit too soon through that section. Oh, come on. We will batter some street furniture out of the way. That's all fine. Now we're going to go chasing off after a longbow. Oh dear. Yeah, the GT's got the straight line speed. The pickup truck has got surprising amount of grip, but the back end is not as planted as you might want. Blakey was there having a look. Again, not quite able to do anything, but is going to be a threat once more at turn 1. So we will move across. In fact, we're not even going to be able to defend turn 1. Blakey will be ahead by the time we get to this first corner. We will try to maybe find a way to fight back somewhere around here. Blakey's got a bit deep. That will help me with the lightning to reclaim that position. We've got to be far enough ahead, though, when it gets to the start-finish line, because that's the bit that matters. Oh, don't find that same wall again. That may be where we find ourselves in trouble a little bit. Gliska and Rusky have been fighting each other and slowed each other down through all of that. Can we find a way past? Maybe, but it's going to be the long way around here. Trying to get on the power, trying to get underneath Longbow. We've got the acceleration, but we know the straight line speed of that GT. It's never really going to be much of a gap there. And sure enough, the GT is going to beat us to the line. I tried. Yeah, silly little incident with the wall on that one. Cost us. It did quite clearly cost us. I think that track maybe favoured the Lightnings a little bit. I mean, Gliska's fastest lap not so far off the top vehicles. Yeah, the GT, well, the Lightnings had a better grid spots and were perhaps a little more stable in the corners. The Ford GT had the straight line speed. I made a mess of things really for myself, but there we go. So all the pickup trucks on the podium for this first event. So we head on to our second race with, well, two very different vehicles once again. We've got the Ford Focus RS going up against the BAC Mono. Now the Focus is actually a little bit difficult to build because, well, the Mono is an unbelievably fast car, and the Focus, well, it has to pretty much have the wide body kit, full slicks on it, almost fully upgraded engine and everything to get it close to the BAC Mono's PI with, well, you know, the engine that it's supposed to be having, although it is all-wheel drive, which is a big help. So off the line, the Focus is going to launch well. I mean, the Mono has a lot less power. We've got 560 odd horsepower in the Focus, but the Mono is much lighter. The Focus is 2,900 pounds. The Mono, yeah, considerably less, much less than that. So yeah, we're gonna try our best in this one. I do think the Focus might be not the easiest thing in the world. We got some understeer, although the cars ahead also found themselves getting understeer and getting into trouble. We're side by side with AB heading up towards the hairpin. Meanwhile, it is Impega and Dangerman fighting for the lead. Blakey about to try and profit from all of that. Rusky might be able to profit getting past us here. The Monos, well, I mean, the Monos might not have the greatest spots on the grid, and the all-wheel drive launch is the problem bit to deal with, whereas Gliska is going to get past both of us down here. I have just not got any speed in this Focus. I am struggling, yeah, for a little bit of pace here. Rusky a little slow around the final corner, so we're going to have a look to maybe the outside at turn 1. Not quite able to do, wanted to duck underneath, but Rusky actually held a really tight line through there. Nothing that I could do. It's the go-kart race behind of Monos. Yeah, I've had a terrible ride. I just got no speed in this car. Got absolutely no pace in the Focus, it seems. Let's see if we can rectify that. Coming onto the bridge, Gliska has moved up into 4th place here. Blakey off chasing down Dangerman. We were a little bit late on the brakes perhaps there. We've got away with it. Oh, in fact, Blakey's now lost out to Impega up there in the podium positions. We've got a nice little gap back at least to the second group. I'm hoping if the cars ahead fight too much, we might be able to. We've got a good run here to get to the inside of Amy for the final corner. Fingers crossed we can make this pass stick. Oh, there was space left on the outside. I think Amy actually managed to avoid the wall as well, which was some good going. Blakey's back up to second with the mono. Gliska's out wide in the cloud of smoke. I don't know where Gliska is. Can't see a thing in all of that smoke. We are going to try and maybe get a move for fifth. We don't want to screw over a fellow Focus, but we also want to, do as well as we can for ourselves here. Alright, let's focus on getting off the bridge nicely. Actually, the fight at the front is really slowing everyone down. In fact, the whole pack is coming together. Longbow's caught a little bit. Might be a little too late to really join in the fun. Blakey's losing out at the hairpin to Impega, although has got a good exit possibly. Gliska's going to join in that fight as well, looking for a way onto the podium. We have not got that corner right at all. I'm not sure what gear I want through there. It was a case of many gears were tried and none of them were quite right. We're not quite doing that one correctly. We are jumping across the dirt. Yeah, the all-wheel drive is advantageous in some ways for the Focus, although once we've got going, it's not that much of around this circuit. There's only a couple of places where the all-wheel drive would really be of any use. It's not like the Mono's a particularly twitchy car. Blakey's back up to second again. Blakey and Impega are just swapping places. I mean, that's great news for Danger Man, although now Impega's come under fire from Gliska. We had a great view of this battle. I'm desperately trying to claw my way into it. Longbow's past Amy by the looks of it behind. Come on, get that stop for the hairpin. Weirdly, I built this car, weirdly, I'm just not quite getting on with it. It should be my sort of car. It's planted a little tendency to understeer. It should be my sort of vehicle, but I'm just struggling to extract speed out of it. Not quite sure why, but it is the case. I'm not sure what it is about the car. That's just not quite gelling for me, but I am struggling a smidge. Rusky, though, made a bit of a mess of that final corner, battling with Impega and is slow. Heading down towards turn 1. Can we get underneath? It was ambitious. I was hoping for a gap. That was more I was hoping for a gap than there actually being a gap there, so we more just pushed Rusky through that corner. Can Danger Man fend off against two Monos, chase Blakey all the way across to the inside, but that is going to make those cars very slow on the exit. They've got to be careful Gliska doesn't just fire straight past the pair of them with that one, and just still Blakey is looking every which way and has a big dive at the hairpin. I think Blakey might have got that pass done. Although on the exit, Danger Man's going to fight back. Gliska may get the pair of them. In fact, Gliska got up to second at least. The Monos have pounced on the last lap. Impega is fighting away with Rusky. Yeah, we've had a great commentator's view for this one. It's just not been a great race for me, and it looks like Blakey is going to fend off from Gliska to take victory around here. And we've got a crazy run towards the line, but we can't catch the two that were fighting ahead of us. We all cross the line. Oh, and all the AIs have a crash. Oh, that was a great race to watch. There, we had a great viewpoint to watch that race. I was just a little too slow. I couldn't gel with that car. My lap time wasn't terrible. Up there with the other Focuses. In fact, it was not quite as fast as Danger Man. And Pega struggled with the Focus as well a little bit. Yeah, I mean, it was super close, but look at the Focuses. 0.2 of a second separated just about every Focus in terms of lap time there. That might be a new record, actually. But as much as we thought, the Monos did eventually claim it, but only just. Now, I will be honest, for our next race I am quite scared of the car that I am going to be driving. We have got the Donkervoort against an Audi TT RS. And the Donkervoort is brutal. There's not another way to describe this car. It's got, I think, about 375 horsepower. It's very light, which makes it twitchy and difficult to control. And the Audi will not be that at all. The Donkervoort is rear-wheel drive, the Audi's four-wheel drive, so much like we saw in the previous race, the Audi will get off the line better. I mean, once the Donkervoort can put its power down, I expect it is going to fly. Yep, I'm not wrong. The Donkervoort will soar its way forward, but it is going to be a handful. It's not the easiest thing in the corners either to get right with this car. It's quite... there's just all the problems. It's twitchy, there's understeer, there's oversteer, there's a lot of wheel spin in it. It's quite inconsistent, but when it goes well, it is sublimely fast. Basically the way to sum the car up. I am not going to try and pass the TT going around that corner. That is a very quick corner. Now the TT, I mean, it's a bit heavy all-wheel drive. You'll get some understeer from that, but on the most part it'll be well behaved. We're going to have a look around the outside of the TT here. I'm not actually really looking for a pass. This is more of a, if I can compromise the TT a little bit. Now we know I'm going to struggle for traction coming out of this corner. The TT can put its power down. However, again, once we've got the power down, here comes that Donkervoort. It's going to go around the outside. In fact, we are miles clear. Its PPs have vanished from the rest of the pack. I'm going to hazard a guess that there are probably some Donkervoorts sliding around in front of some Audis and slowing everyone down. Now, this sort of section here is where we hurt, and there's not very much I can do about it in this, but you can see how much we hurt as the TT turns up. And then we're going to wheel spin our way over the crest, and then go sideways on our way down the other side of the crest. It's all good. We've got it under control. Yeah, we might have to be, I'd say, a little bit careful going into these next corners. This round here is where I am nervous about the car, especially with curbs and grass. I know that Audi is going to be looking, and it might try and fire up the inside into this final section. Oh, I actually overdrove that anyway. Okay, we'll give it space if it wants to. I can't really... There's some battles I just can't fight. That battle there I know I can't fight, but there's no point in me really completely screwing myself over fighting it, because... Oh, there's a wheel of the dirt. No, bad. Bad, 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 Donkervoort. Please don't do that again. It's terrifying. I am terrified of this car. This is completely... As I said, the Focus should have been the sort of car that I like to drive. This is complete opposite to the sort of car that I like to drive. Yeah, this is not for me, this sort of car. Having said that, we are somehow leading the race. I think some of that's to do with luck, with where we were positioned in the field. But yeah, see, we can make up time through some sections, but other parts of the lap we just lose it. I just don't trust the car there, and I really don't trust the car through here, because the back end just doesn't stick. And the Audi has its own problems through there. It ploughs understeering wide, but yeah, this has its own set of problems. We've got big kick of oversteer. Again, this time we're going to park it on the apex, make it difficult for the TT. The TT's got so much grip and so much traction, it's around the outside. It's a great attempt at a pass from Speed Beast. The guy, give credit where credit is due. It's a wonderful attempt, and that's all they can do, because I can just park my car in an awkward place through there. We will be carefully does it into turn 1 here. Don't put too many wheels on the dirt. Don't slide if you can help it. Can't go full throttle. See, the TT, once it's got turned in, will be... Oh, God. It'll be full throttle all the way up the hill, but I can't do it in this. It's just the back end wants to let go. It wants to slide around. I think Impega might be catching us a little bit. Impega might have got to grips with this car a little bit better than me. We go over that crest, and we're sliding around a little bit. We will head into this change of direction. Oh, the Audi was quick through there this time around. I'm still playing it a little cautiously, and I think I have to a degree. It'd be so easy, especially when I'm leading the race. So easy to overdrive this and screw myself over. Oh, that's another good... It's a good dive by Speed Beast. Saw it coming. It was a fair attempt at a pass. Again, every lap is the same thing. Speed Beast will get to us at that section, but just won't beat us to the line. Yeah, I was trying to cover the inside that time around, but could not quite do it. Oh, that's a big mistake at turn 1. That's a problem for us. All of the gap we've made has gone. Oh, come on, up the hill we go. Yeah, Impega's got to grips with the car and is flying, and has caught us. I mean, our battle has slowed us down, although what might help me is Speed Beast might get distracted now fighting with Impega back there, so that would be helpful. Through the chicane, try and carry his... I could have carried a bit more speed. You see Impega also struggling for the grip there. We will now try and not give... The trick is going to be to not give Speed Beast the inside here, I think. Make it difficult. Yeah, sure enough, Speed Beast is not going to be able to do anything. And if we're lucky, we might have backed the Audi up enough that Impega will pass as well. Indeed we have. Yeah, Impega's much faster in that car than me. I could not get to grips. Well, I couldn't get to grips with it. That's just not my style of car. I was playing it a little bit safe, trying not to make a mistake, having led the race for the entirety of the thing. So we were cautious. There was... You see, Pega clearly had more speed in that car. I think I could have been more aggressive with that car in places. I was, playing the numbers game of trying not to spin like an idiot. But yeah, if you get it right, the Donkervoort phenomenally fast, but very easy to bin it. The Donkervoorts do get first and second. Third and fourth goes to the TTs. Fifth and sixth are more Donkervoorts, and then there's a mix of TTs and the other D8s. The terrifying car has been driven, at least. That's out of the way. That's done. We finish off this video with a little bit more of a classic engine share, if you like. We've got the Metro 6R4, which shared its engine with or the basis of it, if you like, with the XJ220. Two very, very different cars. An all-wheel drive Group B rally monster, and... well, at the time, the fastest production car in the world. So they're both quite successful vehicles. Of course, we're going to again have the Metro launching off the line. It's going to have that all-wheel drive traction. In fact, the Metro is very light in this. Jag will have top speed over us, pretty much. At this track, that'll be helpful. The Metro should be faster in the corners, though. That's the theory. They should be better under braking as well down here. For example, although me and Pega have just done exactly the same thing, didn't quite know how much grip we were going to have going into that one. I mean, the Jags, I love the XJ220, do not get me wrong. They are wonderful machines. They are sometimes a bit cumbersome, I think is the best word to describe them. The Metros will be the opposite, although Metros won't have unlimited levels of grip, and Metros can themselves be quite scary to drive. We're going to pass a couple of cars through there. We're on the outside of Gliska here. Can we make this manoeuvre stick? I'm going to go with a probably... oh, going to go with a probably not. I didn't actually expect Gliska to check up quite so much through there. No harm done. A little bit of rubbing of paint, but yeah, no real big problem. Into the final corner we head. Let's slide a little bit wide. We are going to try and get this pass completed, but now comes the sort of straight line speed of that XJ220, although Gliska found some water, and that's not really giving me anywhere to go. This is all helping Longbow out massively at the moment. Longbow is free to run away a little bit, and we've all stumbled over each other, which doesn't really help so much. Bugger and all of that. Right, let's see if we can get to grip with the Metro, try and carry as much speed as possible through these corners. That's where we're going to make up time. I mean, as we saw with the first race a little bit, where the Ford didn't quite have enough straights, this is always going to be a little track dependent. I think this track may be a little... oh, the Jags a little stronger, although there's still a couple of places where the Jags get out of shape. They're in trouble from the Metros because they've just got, especially like through here, for example, the Metros are a little bit more stable. We can just carry that little bit more corner speed in some ways. Despite, I mean, these are on rally tyres. There's no option for anything else in terms of tyres. Well, there's off-road race tyres, and Pega immediately fights back from me making one mistake. Yeah, it's off-road race or rally tyres on the 6R4, so it is on the rally tyres. It's as good as it's going to get for the tarmac stuff, shall we say. Here comes Blakey. So we're going to have me and Pega trying to keep a Metro on the podium, I think, is going to be us trying to fend off from Blakey. That was a very aggressive dive on Blakey, I'm not going to lie. It was a little bit of a last-ditch attempt to try and keep hold of that position through there. Where is Blakey going? I think it's going to be at the end of that long straight. Is pretty much where the Jags are going to be making their passes. That's where this corner here is where the Metros are quick. When you get it right, the difficult bit is if you get it wrong, you just start sliding the 6R4 around. Weirdly, I seem to be relatively fast with this car, which really is not in keeping with the normal characteristics for me. This shouldn't be a car that I'm fast with. But yeah, Pega seems to be struggling with the Metro a little bit, and I'm struggling with it slightly less. Blakey's made a mistake somewhere and lost some time. It's just down here where we just lack the top speed a little bit. over that Jag. I mean, we run these around a really super twisty circuit. I think you could... Metro would just bugger off into the distance, of course. That traction out of the corners would be a lot. And, yeah, we've seen the Jags are struggling in places. That might be... No, that's actually kind of spot on. I don't want to say anything, because I don't want to bloody jinx it. So I'm not quite going to say anything yet. But I don't normally like this circuit very much. But in the 6R4, actually kind of enjoying it. It's weird. We've again got a good view, a goodish view of the lead battle. Not quite as good as we had with the Fords. Chuck the 6R4 through there. I mean, if they want to fight each other and really slow each other down, I'm all for it. Might be a chance for a Metro to gain another position, I guess, if they really fight aggressively for it. Longbow has got the lead back. Well, they were really aggressively fighting for it, because we have closed this gap down. Come on, Metro. Don't brush the wall. Although I don't know if Impega did the same as well. Possibly. We got another quicker lap that time. The 108 in this car, 100%, if I didn't brush that wall. I think Longbow's now maybe got the gap. Gliska also slid out of that final corner and bumped the wall. I think Longbow might have a big enough gap. Unless anything goes wrong on this, the final lap of the race here. Impega's actually caught up, although I didn't have a great... It's not technically turn 1 that, it's more like turn 3, but it's sort of the first big braking zone. I didn't really get that one very well on this lap. Blakey's also recovered from a little error at the midpoint of the race and is not so far behind in 5th. Yeah, we're not going to be as fun as the battle up at the front was to watch. The couple of corners where we are significantly faster than those Jags, it's not quite enough for us. It's scary, it's fun. It is really fun to drive this car around here, but it's really on edge for a lot of this. And that is final corner of the race that I have completely beansed up, but thankfully we're far enough away that Impega can't do anything. Yeah. Ugh. That is probably the most I've enjoyed driving that circuit on this game for a long time in that Metro, and that's not really my sort of car. It does move around a lot more than I would want my sort of car to do. Yeah, lap time wise, we weren't that far off Longbow. Gliska was a little bit faster. Blakey was very quick there with the Jag. Yeah, we were definitely a couple of corners the Metros could gain a huge amount of our lap time in, but so that long straight sort of from the start finish line all the way down to that first braking zone was just a little bit too much for the Metros to climb back. But hey, we got it on the podium. We got it on the podium at the end of the day, so that is something. This was good fun to do, I've got to say. It was fun sort of building the cars for this one. As ever, it's always difficult to try and balance things perfectly. Never will get them, but I had some very, very good fun races with the vehicles. And yeah, it's interesting to see, of course, vehicles that share essentially the same kind of basis of the engines, if you will. But there we go. That is going to be it for this video. Thank you all very much for watching, and until next time, goodbye.